Guys.
Yeah, look at that, huh? How's everybody doing? What's up, Georgia?
What's going on, Dule?
You know what I'm saying?
Promise not to ask you about the food this year like the last years.
How's it? Good to see you, man.
So what's going on? Season is Sean an orphan or?
Sean an orphan? I don't know. I just don't know. No, because his mother's still alive. It's true. It's true.
Well, I hear there was a zombie on stage in the panel, so.
It's true. It's true. His life is still hanging in the balance. It will be until we premiere to be determined.
So what are you going to deal with this season with regards to pop culture that you haven't dealt with yet?
Well, we went ahead and threw our hats into the found footage ring. That's an acknowledgement that it's prevalent in the zeitgeist, so we figured we'd get in on that. Paid tribute to Clue, everybody's favorite board game from the 80s. Doing a musical, because that seems to be a hip thing to do these days. But all our music's going to be original, from the mind of Steve Frank. That's what makes us cooler. I'm sure about big pop culture shots so far. Yeah. But we're only halfway through, so you know we have more coming.
In addition to pop culture, you did some things about Hitchcock and other things. Any other classic filmmakers? You're going to do a Bergman style or a Kurosawa, do a Salmon Samurai thing?
If I could pull off a Bergman episode, I could retire. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that. I'll have to get that at the plaque.
Stretch. But
you want to do what? Oh my gosh. No, hold on. Hey, no, come here. Listen, this guy James is pitching right now. Say it again, James. You want to do what? I want to do the Persona episode.
hey, people would remember.
We did some Kubrick last year. That was kind of fun. We riffed on Spielberg. We're doing The In-Laws this year.
Really?
With Jeffrey Tambor, and that should be fun. Jeffrey's playing my dad.
That's going to be a stretch of character.
This series is going a whole new direction.
What does Gus finding love this season have to do with changing Sean and Gus's relationship? Since Gus gets a girlfriend, how does that change their dynamic between the two?
I mean, it does put some tension in the relationship for, anytime you change a piece of the puzzle, you have to readjust. So there's definitely a readjustment period that goes on with Sean and Gus. Of course, we're still Psych, so there's going to be funny moments about it. But there'll also be some serious moments also.
I think about 2 years ago, you guys had a special for going to the panel, which was a comic book. What is it like seeing yourself being immortalized into a comic book? And how disappointed were you guys when it wasn't a series? It should have been an ongoing series.
I wasn't disappointed at all, because just the fact of getting in a comic book alone is, even one issue is pretty amazing. So you can look at it from like, oh, dad, we didn't get a series, but it's like, well, no, you were in a comic book, calm down. Look, we have bobbleheads. Done. Right?
Is that the pinnacle?
I can stare at myself nodding while I'm in the bathroom. Can't beat that.
So we're going to see you on a MemoBot USB drive soon.
It's always interesting when you go to the bathroom and you see yourself looking at yourself saying, yeah, you know you've arrived.
You're doing it right.
You've arrived.
Will we see Top Man and the Catch on this season?
Tapman and the Catch both sprained MCLs, and it's the long road back rehab. There may be some more tapping. Maybe some more tapping. There's not tapping, but Gus might tap. There's a musical happening, so.
Will there be involved with that a little more quarterback?
This season, I don't know if quarterback is going to make an appearance this season. Yeah, it's like the World Cup. Every 2 to 3 years. So if we stay around long enough, we'll probably see, some semblance of quarterback coming back around.
I got one for James. Is it easier to direct an episode that you've written or one that somebody else has written?
I think it's probably easier to direct one that
that I've written myself because I'm not worrying about servicing what someone else had in their head. Because obviously it's part of your responsibility as a director is, hey, I want to make this look like you imagined it would look. But if it's not what you think it should look like, that's when that's get tricky. You write it yourself, and you don't have to answer to anybody. Yeah.
Right. And trust me, I know because the episodes I've directed, that's been my big challenge.
Actually, if this was a Psych video game, what would the format be? Would you guys want like a first-person shooter, or more like a Sims, or
stories? Man, I think it'd be Sean Gus versus.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like tag team battles, and then if you took, but it was elimination, right? So if you beat Gus, you still have to be fighting Sean, or vice versa, until there was only one man standing.
I definitely want it to be some kind of like role playing, kind of like a first-person shooter, but you can choose to be Sean or Gus, and you have to interact with it to get to, a big master case. It has to be this huge case where you have to hand-to-hand combat.
You have to deal with their shortcomings, but depending on which one you chose.
Right. And like different storylines. So you can start here, start there, and they all intersect.
So since it's Comic-Con...
So you haven't thought about this at all?
No, not at all. That's fine. What is it?
Sorry. Since it's Comic-Con, what is both of your favorite superheroes?
Well, I've been saying all day, my favorite superhero is Lionel. Because he says Thundercats, and we say, that is the truth. I mean, I've always liked the Thundercats. But in terms of someone who's more present right now, of course, Iron Man he's a badass. Even when I watched the Avengers, I was like, badass. He's pretty bad.
Probably the Hulk. Probably the Hulk, because I was such a huge horror guy growing up. It was the closest thing to a monster that was also a superhero.
Have you seen the Lego Hulk and the Lego
I have not.
movie?
Oh, really?
That's what like Iron Man suits over the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's just... Am I the only one that's really hyped about the next one coming out? And I'm just like, I can't wait for Iron Man 3 and for the Avengers to come out. I'm like, come on, hurry up. What y'all doing?
Advanced screeners.
Yeah, come on now. See if I could befriend somebody who's a part of Marvel. Maybe I can get it early. I would geek out. If I had a chance to go visit that set, I would geek out.
After several seasons working together on the set, what can each one of you say about the other one? Like the funniest moment that you've witnessed the other actor on the set?
The funniest moment? Oh man!
It never ceases to amaze me how quickly Dule can have food in front of him before we would know that there's food as an option. Like, it doesn't matter whether we're on set or if we're headed someplace for dinner, like, the sheer speed and finesse involved with making sure that he's fed. Every time I think he can't take it to the next level, he somehow manages to do it.
So it's his superpower, you think?
Almost, yeah.
I would say, being that he plays something so observant on screen, it's how unobservant he is in his life. Just the other day in an episode, he's walking on a miniature golf course, and we just cut the scene. He turns around, he starts to walk to go to his chair, and there's these big windmills that are on the miniature golf courses, and the big blades that are coming around. He walks right into the blade. I was like, yo, dude, did you just walk into that blade?
Yeah, I tried to play it off, and blood started running down my face.
Like, it's right there, man.
I couldn't play it off anymore.
But how did you not see that big ass windmill sitting right there?
They had to bring in that liquid Band-Aid stuff, and yeah, it was great.
Because he was focusing on the screw holding it together. He missed the windmill.
That was pretty funny. And that's not the first time something like that has happened, so there it is.
Do you guys have it coming into the next season that you just can't wait for the fans to see?
I can't wait for the fans to see Clue.
Clue is definitely up there. And found footage. I think found footage has a lot of funny stuff in it. They did a great job with it. I think they will laugh a lot.
So at what point in time is Gus going to get a decent car?
A decent car?
Yeah.
I'm offended by that question. I'm like, what are you talking about?
The only thing worse could be if you got an EV and it stopped like every 15 minutes of the show.
and the blueberry are joined at the hip. It's Gus, Sean, and the blueberry. He will never get rid of that car. You know what I mean? He'll get rid of Sean before he gets rid of the blueberry. Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out, alright? Cool.
Enjoy the rest of the car.